We're back with episode 61, as I'm told, and we're just sitting here. Who's number 61 in the NHL? There's a couple good ones. You know, we Nash.
Mm-hmm. I retired, but
retired. Corey Stillman.
Corey Stillman.
Stone still playing. We'll dedicate this one to Mr. Stone.
I feel like we're missing somebody that we really should know.
Probably
61.
are.
It's just a feeling I have.
It's like Euro or Russian.
Probably. But let's go with Stone. His knob is terrible.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't. How would you do that? Like you got little manitos there.
No, couldn't
I
do
don't
it.
know how you'd be able to do it, but
No.
you know.
I don't know.
But for those that Stone for Vegas, his knob on the stick is probably that thick,
like
man.
water bottle.
You know, it's crazy. And hey, whatever it works, he's in the show, and we're not. We're talking about him.
Yeah, you're talking about Stone's knob on a podcast.
We're talking about his knob on the podcast. Absolutely.
And how thick it is.
And how thick it is. Speaking about thick, let's talk about Jay. We haven't talked about Jay in a while. Thick meaning not his mustache, not his hairline, his waist, his belly, but his personality. What a guy, man.
Does have a thick personality. That's another way to describe it.
Wow. He does have a thick personality. We talk about him all the time, and it's all in fun. And he watches this. I know his wife watches this. But anyway, yesterday he comes in. He's like, "Yeah, man. I'm gonna stick around and change the blade on the Zamboni." Okay. He goes, "Yeah, I'm being taped." Being taped. What? And Herm and I are looking at each other like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, it's like day in the life of Jay. I'm like, really? So we're doing a day in the life of you, Jay? So why don't we just get you in the Zamboni room freaking sleeping? Because that's what you do most of the time.
Yeah, or hanging out in our office.
Or hanging out in the
Chat
offices.
with us.
Yes, and breaking safe sport violations.
Yeah, we need to get him interrupting a phone call.
Yeah. Did you get all that, Cause? Because I know you're behind this. Did you interview anybody else talking about Jay on what he truly does during a day? You might want to. And make sure you have enough tape and battery life because there's a bunch. But yeah, so the day in the life of Jay. And obviously, when is that coming out? It's coming out tomorrow. Shit, it'll be funny. Make sure you make it funny. Right. Because it is, Jay is comical, and as we know, and
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, me too.
I am.
A day in the life is
think
great
it should be
content.
like a mini series, like 6-episode documentary.
So as I was leaving yesterday, when you guys were coming in from outside, I'm like, "Hey Jay, remember you talked about dyeing your mustache black on the podcast?" He's like, "I did not." I'm like, "Dude, you're full of shit. You did." So we're gonna get him that one too.
We should do it on a day in the life, episode 2.
Yeah.
Day in the life, getting my mustache dyed. So that is a day in his life. That's what he
A day,
deals with.
exactly right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's in day in life. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah,
When he
that's
told
good
me
content.
that, I was just like, "You got to be kidding me, Jay! Really? How did you get this?" So now I'm calling him Mr. Big Shot.
You got him mic'd up too, obviously, right?
Is there a lot of editing
I was
on
gonna
it?
say, you're
Because
gonna
I
have
would
to edit it.
imagine.
But we're doing voiceover, so it's gonna talk wild.
Have him
It's gotta
talk.
be
he's
Jay.
got
It's
to
gotta be
talk.
Jay.
Have
He's
him
gotta
talk. And just there's probably going to be a lot of editing going on, as you well know.
Just make the script big enough font for him.
Big enough font, yeah, and slow it. You might have to slow the video down for him. You know what I mean? He's a comical. So I asked him to do something yesterday. Hey, Jay, can you do this? Yeah, I'll do it right now. Well, I come in this morning and still not done. And it was funny just because as I said something to myself, like, Jesus, he comes in. I'm like, "Hey, Jay, you think you could, when you get a chance, do this?" He's like, "Oh, man, I forgot." No shit. Shit you did, Jay.
He's been stressed about the ice cream machine.
It's working now.
I know.
I walked over there and
Did you get
checked it
some?
out.
Tomorrow or today I'm going to.
You are, so is that, yeah, it's working.
No, you cannot have it.
No, I'm not going to.
Oh.
You can.
You said you almost said you were.
Yeah, you were about to say
You were
it.
about to.
Oh, I never meant that.
Is there
But-
a low sugar option in there?
Yeah, man.
No, for real. You're full of it. There's no way.
No, there's no low sugar. I could get just the ice cream and no toppings.
Why?
Exactly. It's like ordering a Big Mac at McDonald's and getting a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
How about those guys?
That sounds good.
A Big Mac combo with a Diet Coke?
Yeah.
Who does that?
I don't, but it's
A
good
lot of
right
people
now.
like,
I don't know.
the majority of Americans do that.
Order a Diet Coke with a Big Mac combo?
Yeah. People
Why?
think-
To make themselves feel good about it?
yeah, they think it's justified if they do it that way. 100%. I
Maybe
had a
that's
Diet
what I
Coke.
should have been doing.
I mean, it does have no sugar, so.
But
it's-
why does everyone, like, when I say everyone, why do the doctors and shit say Diet Coke or Diet products is worse than the regular?
because of the
Because
aspartame.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What does aspartame do to you?
Sherm, do you know? I
I
just
don't,
know
off the
it's.
top of my head, I don't know, but I know it's not good.
Cause,
for
do you know? God damn, that's strike two, bro.
Yeah, he's a content guy. He's not a
Well,
dictionary,
I think
man.
you'd be
He's not a
smarter than
medical
the
dictionary.
rest of us, but apparently not. You know what I mean? Like,
He has to hang out with Jay.
exactly. Oh yeah,
Let's get Jay to spell aspartame on day in the
C
life.
A T.
Good job, Jay.
That boy, Jay. Big letters. Nah, Jay. We're just talking smack as we always do, bud. We love you. Everyone's got to have a J, man. Make yourself feel good about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the NAHL Robertson Cup. Let's talk about the finals, how the Brahmas and Bismarck got there.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys know what I'm getting at on that one. More so the Brahmas than anything,
Mm-hmm.
which is all over social media. So Robertson Cup, everybody that, you know, if you're listening, there's 4 divisions, top team of each division move on to the Robertson Cup. 1 plays 4, 3 play, or pardon me, yeah, 1, 4, 2, 3, best of 3, and the winner of that goes on to the championship. So I'll let somebody else kind of take it away.
Well,
It's not all tag at once.
okay. So we'll start with Bismarck because I think their road is a little bit more interesting too. Like they lose game 1 to Rochester.
Yeah.
And then they got to answer on Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. Force a game 3, and then they win an OT in game 3. That's hard to do. Back against the wall. You know, the Rochester had multiple chances to end the series. A lot of chances.
And I think Bismarck came back in every one of their series through the whole playoffs, not just at the Robbie Cup. I think they
Yeah.
were down.
Weren't they down 2 at one point to
I thought so.
Aberdeen?
Yeah.
And it was and they lost the first 2 at home
Yeah.
and had to win in game 5.
So,
And then
That's
they
good.
Yeah. And then they played Austin, and I think they were down either at least 1 game in that series.
yeah, I'm not sure, but I think they were down in all their series. So
Yeah.
good for them for bouncing back. And
Says a lot, right? You know what I
sure.
mean? Like being down and coming back, and especially in a game 5.
Yeah, it's
You
tough.
know what I mean? At home, yeah. At home, it's a shoe, and no, it's not.
No,
Ask Toronto.
more pressure.
What?
Whoa.
shots fired.
Shots.
And then you got the Brahmas, who also lost game 1.
Yeah.
Got kind of pumped in game 1, if you want the truth.
Yeah.
It was,
And then they pumped.
And they pumped in game 2. And then, well, Wendigo came back too in that one, didn't they? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They did.
But then-
and they forced the OT.
No, that was on Sunday. Sunday,
Pardon
they,
me, yes.
They were up
yes,
4.
yes.
Lone Star was up 4-2, and then Wendigo came back, right?
wasn't it?
Sunday.
Wasn't it 2-0 Lone Star, and then
2,
and then Wendigo came back, made it 3-2.
Yes, they did.
3 unanswered, 4 unanswered,
4 unanswered? Yeah, that's what it was. It was
and
that,
then Lone Star tied it up, and then forced an OT, and then in OT we had the goal heard around the world, at least
The
the North
The
American League World. So,
I would go more than that.
were they on the power play? They were on the power play, weren't they?
I honestly don't have it. I'm not sure. I just see the overhead replay over and over and over.
So,
Yeah, well, do we want to talk about the rules on it? Because
Yeah, we
I know
will.
What, I know what the. Oh, okay, we can finish the
Yeah.
recap. But
so puck from the half wall gets filtered to the net. Number 61, I think his name's Fonham.
61.
Oh, yeah,
Episode
Cooper Fonham.
61.
Actually, oh, wow.
Oh wow! Look at that, everybody.
St. Lawrence commit
Who knew?
for hockey, not for soccer. He opens up his foot to try to receive the pass, and by opening up his foot, he redirects it into the net. By definition, a goal can't be a goal off the foot if it's a distinct kicking motion or you intentionally angle your foot
Right.
to redirect the puck into the net. If it's unintentional, if it just hits your skate when you're standing in front, totally different, right? If it was in the NHL, or let me back that up, if it was in the ACHA even, there would have been a replay, and they would have called the goal off because it was blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
It's a 4-man system. These guys are U.S. development referees.
Yep.
The guy who called it a goal was Ottenberg.
Yep.
He was the closest official with the bands. He had a clean look at it.
Oh, yeah.
The official from the backside was on the bench side wall, and he saw it. He also had a clean look at it, and one of the linesmen had a good look at it. The other linesman maybe not. Nobody decided to make. They discussed it for a half second.
If that, yeah, it was
But
short.
in the NAHL. Sorry, we're only one letter away. I forget sometimes.
The league with a vowel.
Yeah, and in our league, you unfortunately cannot challenge or review a goal other than it just crossing the line. That is currently the rule. It just has to cross the line. That's all they can use the review for, nothing else. So if the refs don't call it off, then it doesn't matter. It's a goal. You can look at it all day. You can see the replay because the league did a great job with all the camera angles, all the overheads. We had every view of it possible, so everybody could see it, but we couldn't review it, which to me is an absolute crime.
Well, my question is if the refs wanted to review it, could they have pulled it up to decide if it was a goal or not? But because I know the coaches can't challenge it, but can the ref go back and say, I want to take a look at that for a high stick, a kick?
The ref can't
Batting it in
use
with the
video
hand.
evidence to overturn a goal other than it crossing the line or not.
Correct.
So even if they want to look at it, it doesn't matter.
Because the way that I read the rule that they posted was coaches couldn't challenge, but I thought that the refs could still look at it.
No, they can't. So the rule is just that.
Okay.
It's crossing the line. Now it's going to change,
Of course.
which was discussed at the Board of Governors meetings before this event happened, this occurrence happened, right? And
Right.
it still doesn't change anything. But, everybody gets it wrong. I'm not making excuses for anybody or anything like that, but wow.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Wow is right. I'll say this, like, you want my honest truth, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but the league not posting that goal on social media, the league posting the rule after the fact, it was not a good look. I think it's insane that at our level of hockey, in the biggest game of the season, which also shouldn't be, that one's a 3-game series, but this format's also garbage. But
Oh, yeah.
to decide junior hockey championship on a 1 game is insane. But to not be able to review that when, again, I've brought this up to Heo 50 times now, in the ACHA, a league that half our coaches would shit on.
Yeah.
We have that replay,
All
and
day long.
it's not even our own broadcast network. Somebody else sets it up,
Yeah.
and then we stream it. Versus we own our own broadcast network. We're streaming the whole thing. It's our league. We pay for it.
Well, that's what I like.
It's crazy.
What are we paying for these cameras
You
for?
don't wanna know. You don't wanna
We're
know,
not using
sure.
them.
It's what we can argue it all day, and I'm not siding by any means that it was a good goal, because it wasn't, clearly.
Right.
But there's rules in play. Should there be a full replay? Yes, I would agree. There should be, especially in that final game, or even the Robertson Cup in whole. And I can't really say too much, just because, there's it was discussed, right? Adding in, a couple different rules as far as the replay goes. Not every building has the same camera angles. We talked about high sticks going in, not being part of it, just because it's a different angle for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can't be consistent. You talk about the efficiencies in buildings as far as, does the replay even work? Right? Because a lot of buildings are different. We struggled with ours in our own building, whether it be issues with the internet, whether it be issues with the visiting team's iPads coming in that are full, that they don't clear it out, and the referees will just say, you know what, they don't work. You know what I mean? And we've done that. We did it when Corpus was here playing Lone Star. There's a lot of things that go into it, and obviously we're not at the level of the NHL, but we do own everything. And especially when you're playing in the Robertson Cup, maybe you throw that in there. It wouldn't take much. I don't think so either. But anyway, it is what it is. Brahms didn't win, so maybe that's karma.
Yeah.
What it is, but it takes possible away from, who they played. in the overtime. So
Yeah.
could they have beat Bismarck? Who knows, man. There's it is what it is. That's what I love about hockey.
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like it or leave it, piss off.
Yeah.
You know?
I got two more things on it.
Sure, man.
First and foremost, like you see a lot of stuff online right now of everyone like, oh, they cheated. They didn't cheat. The kid tried to settle a puck in front of the net. It went off his skate and went in the net. Shouldn't have been a goal. But there's not one team in the league that's not taking that because we've all been on the other side of it.
Absolutely.
That's not
That's
cheating.
not cheating. No.
And
What are you gonna say? Oh, I kicked that. That's no goal.
yeah, hey, let's bring
Let's
it back.
drop it again. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't want to win that way.
And people love to hate the Brahmas, right? They're freaking one of the best teams in the league over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So you build that hatred
Oh, yeah.
just because, and that's what comes out of people's mouth that might not be educated. No offense to anybody that says that, but I remember back in our glory days, freaking everybody hated the Rhinos.
Yeah.
They cheat, they this, they that, just because we were top of the game.
Yeah.
Now the shoe's on the other foot, and the Brahmas are, top in the league every year, and everyone just loves to hate them. They didn't cheat.
If people aren't hating on your program and saying that
You're not
you
doing it
cheat, you ain't doing it right.
Right.
100%. So that just shows what they're doing.
We obviously play against Brahmas quite a bit, you know what I mean? So we get to see things, but he's a very intense coach. He does a great job. Obviously, he gets his guys motivated to play, and whatever works, man.
I agree.
You
You take them any way you can get them.
Absolutely, and that program does great, year after year, and it's a hot spot, right? But that's not taking away from Bismarck. They've had a great season all year, man, and top of the league throughout most of it, right, back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
and they came to play. They played a great game yesterday, and deservingly so. They are the Robertson Cup champions.
Yeah. Garrett Roth.
Garrett
Roth,
Roth, two of the last three.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument to say he's the best coach in the league.
Absolutely. I'm not saying Fonger is, but there's a lot of good coaches. But it's some of the old guys like Roth. Man, he's been around.
He's been an assistant coach in this league. He's been in this league coaching since 2010.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like 15 years. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, he does good. He obviously, he did well recruiting on his team, and we all know that, right? Congrats to those guys, man.
I'm also going to say Roth, he was a Bismarck guy. He played there, and then now he's a head coach there, but he made his bacon in the South.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was really two South coaches going at it again.
Sure,
in my
yeah.
eyes.
Right. You can argue that too, for sure. And there's, he was in OKC for a while, and he won the one there, and then, he left, went to Bismarck, went
He
to
made,
Janesville.
he
then
made,
to-
made
then
a stop
to-
on the way.
He made a pit stop along the way and ended up back in Bismarck. And hey, man, good for him. Kudos to him. Congrats to Bismarck and the gang and the organization for their win, man.
Yeah,
For
they were
sure.
good, man.
Yeah.
They were so good.
Yeah, absolutely. But moving on, man. Let's talk about the NHL Toronto Maple Leafs.
I got nothing to say.
Say, this is what the Maple Leafs sound like when they lose. Bunch of bums.
They were bad.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
They were bad.
Yeah.
They
Not
were
bad,
real bad.
really
Well,
bad. Besides
They went
Game
7.
6,
They went
where the
7.
frick was
They're just
Matthews?
bad in 7.
Where was Matthews
He was good.
all playoffs, really, except for maybe Game 6 of this series?
Game 6, game-winning goal. Game 7, he was ice cold, but so was their whole
Their
so
whole
was
team.
their whole
was,
team.
yeah.
You see Marner on the big. Let's fucking go, everybody. Dude, get out of here. You're just playing the role, dude.
Yeah,
You want out of there about as quick as you can sign a contract.
Where do you think he's going to go?
I bet she goes to Carolina.
I'm calling Anaheim.
Why? Nothing against Anaheim. Why would you go to a small market?
You're going to get paid and you're going to be on the beach.
Yeah, man, but it's the shits there.
They're building a new arena.
They
I-
need to.
No,
I
they
think
are. They're
he's-
upgrading the Honda Center. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think he'll go to a major market.
Yeah,
I think there's zero unless it's if it's Anaheim, it's for the money. Carolina doesn't have enough to pay him. They have too much on their roster. I don't think that they'll deal.
Well, do you consider Carolina a big market, though?
No, I think
Yeah,
Carolina's
no,
a small
I just,
market.
No, I'm just.
What about Florida? Can they pay him?
He's not going to go to Florida.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't fit there.
He doesn't fit
Dallas?
anywhere.
I could see Dallas,
Vegas, Dallas.
Vegas, maybe.
Vegas. Yeah, he's a special character. Berube said really nice things about him, but I think that's just Chief being Chief and just being
Oh, you got to play
above board.
You got to play the role, right? You can't hammer on your like.
You'll know
Hey-
how he really feels about him based off of whether they re-sign him or not.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that announcement will come as soon as the series, like the Cup's over, man, if not earlier. I don't think they're going to wait too long.
Do you think he can't until July 1st?
No, but I think it's going to be in play.
Oh, it'll be in play. What about Tavares? He's up. Like,
I bet you he retires.
no, he's not done yet.
How old is he? 36?
He would be
35, 36?
35, 34, 34.
He's got a couple left.
He's going to re-sign for about 4 years somewhere. Maybe he's worth about 7 still.
$7 million?
Total for 4?
Oh, for
No.
4. Are you saying per year?
Yeah, his
You
AAV.
think he's worth that?
He'll get 7.
God
Not
damn,
for
they're
no,
f***ing
not
overpaying
for
by about
4.
$5 million.
I don't think they should. To be fair, I don't think they should re-sign him. But I think that's what he's worth on the open market, especially in
Somebody
Toronto.
would probably pay him that.
I'd
Yeah.
In Toronto, it has to be 7 because of all the taxes and everything like that.
Yeah. He's not going to stick in. I bet she's out. in
I
Toronto.
think he should be. I think that
Watch
was,
him go to
I-
Buffalo. They'd sign him.
I think that signing was a mistake. You want the truth?
Yeah.
What is?
I think they blow up Toronto. I think they do.
They need to.
I think
like,
they make some huge.
like
changes.
I'm like, you guys know how I feel about Matthews for a lot of reasons. His performance in the playoff has been subpar, right? Obviously, he's an underperformer.
Mhm.
Let's call it what it is.
Mhm.
You have Marner, a little bit better. But you have Nylander, played well in the playoffs, put up some numbers. As much as I don't like Riley because of his tape job, he played decent. They need to get a goalie. I don't think they have it with Wold or whoever it is in there.
I think if Stolars would have stayed in,
Stolars.
if he wouldn't have got hurt, I think it maybe could have went a different way.
Maybe, but I think you need. They're not going to, but I think Matthews is the problem, man. Like I don't understand. Like there's zero emotion on the guy, zero. And then you just okay, he's good. Yes, he scored 70 goals or whatever, but
or whatever.
really, or when's how many get in the playoffs? 2.
I couldn't tell you.
You know, not many. You know what I mean? But so are you paying a guy for a regular season, or you want him to perform in the playoffs?
Here's my argument to that point. There's only so many generational talents. I'm not saying that Matthews is necessarily, the answer, because he hasn't been. But there was also another team that everyone says, you got to blow it up, you got to blow it up, you got to blow it up. Never going to win, especially with that guy as a captain. He's the problem.
Who's that?
The Washington Capitals. Everyone said Nick Backstrom, he's too soft. Alex Ovechkin, he's a bad leader. They got rid of Mike Green. They brought in, some other guys on the back, and they had Orlov, different guys. Things changed there, but the core, the nucleus of the team stayed the same.
Sure.
David Poile never blew it up. And
They won 1 cup
they won 1 cup.
and then been no for since.
But they've always been in the playoffs. They've always been a team that's there. How many years in a row did they lose to Pittsburgh in the playoffs?
They still
It-
lost.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right, yeah.
Washington. But
Yeah.
there's not one GM, there's not one owner, there's not one coach who wouldn't trade 1 Stanley Cup for the 5 years on both sides of all the backlash from the media,
Right.
right? And so my point is you have to be very careful of blowing it up, because they blow that up, it's back to scratch, because you cannot replace 70 goals. You can't.
No, but 70 goals during a regular season isn't translating into the playoffs either.
How many did Marner have this year?
He probably had 30.
Let's look up their playoff stats real quick.
But you
'cause
know what I mean?
think Matthews had more than that. But
I'm sure he did.
I don't think you get rid of Matthews. I think Marner and
You get a lot from
Tavares
Matthews.
go,
though.
and then
Somebody
you find a
would
goalie.
somebody would bite on that.
you have
He
to
did.
change something. You
Something.
just don't
I
blow it up.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know, man.
But do you consider getting rid of Tavares and Marner blowing it up? I mean, those are 2 big pieces. I'm not saying
I think one of them.
destroy it,
I think more than one's got to go. That's my opinion. I don't.
but
care.
I, mean,
I don't
it
like
could,
Toronto
It
anyway.
could be Morgan Riley. It could be.
They should just stay together.
Okay. So here's the stats.
We're talking playoffs.
playoffs.
Nylander number 1.
Yes, games played 13, 6-9 for 15-3. Time on ice per game 19 minutes. Marner 2-11 for 13-1. Time on ice 22 minutes. Austin Matthews number 3 on the team 3-8 for 11. Even. time on ice, 20-39. So you know what that means, right? He's getting the other team's best matchup. Especially so they had the change they had home ice for the first 2 series.
So they should.
And then you got Pacioretty, Tavares, Knives.
What
Knives.
Pacioretty have?
3 and 5 for 8.
Well, he's still rolling.
+1. Tavares, 5 and 2. So he had 5 goals. And mind you this, okay? -6
Yeah.
through the playoffs. So
But you don't know how those minuses come. You know what I mean? Like, just if you're on the ice for an empty netter, does that count as a dash?
yeah, it does.
There you go. Matthews is going to be out there. Tavares probably. I would assume Marner's going to be out there. What was Riley?
Riley was -2 but he had 4 and 3.
Yeah.
And he's playing 21 minutes, almost 22 minutes a night.
So that's not bad. Like, the dashes are great, but it doesn't tell the true tale of the
No,
tape.
it's plus-minus doesn't always tell. Because usually if a guy has a worse plus-minus and he's like that high end,
And I don't know. I don't know how well.
Feet.
I don't know how well they track it too. Because back when I was playing, obviously you guys dealt with it too, and it happens now. Be fucking going on a breakaway and 2 guys jump off and you get stuck out there. Dash.
Oh yeah.
But that counts.
I get it, but you're seeing a breakaway happen 2-on-0, and you're the freaking high guy. You're one of the forwards. Come back. You're cruising to get off. Then you jump out there. You're not even part of it. Dash.
Should have changed out of the ozone.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? But it's who knows how they do it. But obviously it's tracked better than what we've ever played. But
They use other like if you looked up their courses and all the advanced analytics, like there's going to be more to it than that. And then there's the eye test, obviously, that trumps everything in my eyes.
Sure,
but
For sure.
I think they got to be careful about what they decide to blow up there. That's all I'm saying, because it would be back to ground zero, quick.
yeah, yeah. But they whatever. Let's talk about Florida. Pumping game 1. What was it? 5-2, 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't. I was
Score
watching
sheet was
the-
spread out a little bit.
Yeah,
They're tough to beat, man.
yeah. They also I mean
They also
defending champs,
Okay.
right? No, I like Florida. I have nothing.
Yeah.
But my point is also like look who Toronto lost to.
Yeah.
Division rival and defending champs, and like the perfect team built to beat a Toronto Maple
Oh,
Leafs.
yes.
But that's also why you should build a team the way Florida
Yeah,
did.
man. You exactly. So now we got them. I think that's going to go 6 games. I don't think it'll go 4. I don't think it'll go 7. I think it'll go 6. That's what I think. Hopefully it goes 7 just because it's more hockey for everybody.
I'm all for
You know what I mean? But they're going to be pretty tough to beat. And then on the other side, you got who the Oilers and who? Who are they playing tonight?
Stars.
That's going to be tough. I'm Oiler fan all the way. And Kachuk fans, regardless of what you might see on there. I'm a big time
Who do you have?
Kachuk fan.
The Kachucks on your team.
Who do you got? The Kachucks?
Yeah,
The Hughes brothers.
the Hughes brothers, Kachuk.
Hughes brothers. Come Oilers, Dallas. I couldn't tell you who's coming out of that.
That is a lot of speed on the ice. It's gonna be a high flying series. I have a fun stat.
What's your fun stat?
Pete DeBoer, head coach of the Dallas Stars.
I saw this yesterday.
6 of the last 7 conference finals he has been in.
Really?
Yep, and he's been fired twice in that time frame.
So what's he doing?
I don't know. He's been in the Cup Finals twice. He's lost both. He's undefeated in Game 7s in the playoffs, which is crazy.
Wild.
Lost 1 in 2012 with the Devils in the Cup Finals. Lost 1 with San Jose, like 16, and then went with Vegas. Right? Went with Vegas, or
Yeah.
just Western Conference
Yeah.
Finals.
I think the finals.
And then he's been in the Cup. Oh, he's been in the Cup Finals with Dallas too.
Yeah, he's
He's been in 3 Cup Finals, hasn't gotten it done, and he's been in 6 of the last 7.
And he's
West-
got gas twice.
He got gassed twice. Got gassed by San Jose, and then by Vegas.
That's crazy, man.
Wait, he got gassed in San Jose now that I think about it? Or did he just leave? Because that's
he
when.
might have left.
Because remember when.
Did a Rick Tocchet?
Yeah, because remember that's when Vegas was losing it because they fired Gerard Gallant.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they were like, oh, you brought in, because that was the the year before was when there was that crazy 5-minute power play between San Jose and Vegas when they had that crazy comeback when the guy fell and hit his head on the ice,
Yeah.
and they called a major, and then the next year DeBoer was in Vegas.
How about being the power play coach for the Oilers when they shit to bed in their whole series?
I mean,
Like, how do you not score with those guys? You don't even have to do anything.
Yeah,
Go score, fellas. But it's hard, right?
I mean, I don't know.
But like they were talking about the Oilers and their power play coach, right? And just a little small of a man, and he's just like, dude, like he's probably, goddamn, come on, fellas.
They set the NHL power play percentage record last year in regular season.
Yeah, like how do you not with those guys?
It's
like,
potent.
It's going to be a good series, man. It really is. You know, Dallas they're obviously playing well. The Oilers are playing well. I think it's going to come down to goaltending. If the Oilers have good goaltending, they'll move on. If they don't, which has been their downfall for many years in the playoffs, as everybody in the hockey world knows, they're done.
I think Dallas is going to take it.
To me, it's all about I don't think it's a one-man sport, but if you can't slow down McDavid, he can literally take over a series. Can he do it to win 8 more games? I don't know, but
It's pretty good.
if you can't slow that guy down, he's
How about when he was coming through the neutral zone and he blew around Eichel?
Oh, I know.
Did you see that?
It's unbelievable.
Jesus. Like, what do you
See
do when he's coming down on you?
Turn around and
Imagine-
start
Like, you
skating
just
to
lay
the
down
net.
and throw your stick?
Beat him to the strong side post, coach.
Yeah, good luck.
No, you just learn to turn back in a
you-
straight
yeah.
line.
Yeah, just
Don't even think
don't even
about
look.
it. Don't D him up.
Just open hips and you're
What do you
going to
do
that
when
post.
that guy's coming?
Can you imagine pivoting, knowing you have a bad gap, and seeing him coming down?
I think that's what Eichel did, but it's through the
I
neutral
probably
zone
that's
he
probably
tried
when
to
I
pivot.
would change and I would go hop
Yeah.
off and give somebody else a
God damn
minus.
it.
I'd grab my ankle.
I would go down.
Yeah.
Blow tire.
Yeah, break it before he does.
Exactly. I'm out, but I'm good for next shift.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's going to be good. Good series. You know, playoffs are awesome. There's no better time or sport when it comes to playoff or postseason, man. Like the NHL, like I said before, it's just legalized brutality, man. Like you can get away with murder.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Like there's nothing like it. So any fans out there that can get an opportunity to go see a playoff game in the NHL, do it. It's money well spent. You'll never see anything better.
Yeah,
Like
it's awesome.
Super Bowl, no. Major like
Oh.
game, World Series Game 7, that's pretty entertaining. I'll give it that.
You would go to a World Series Game 7 over a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I would. Unless it's the Lions, then maybe.
Yeah, I probably would. I don't know, man. That's a toss up.
Yeah, it's a toss-up. I don't know.
2 teams you don't care about? Just 2 teams.
Yeah, I would just say it has to be because if you factor in your team, then obviously
You know, if you have the Yankees playing against whatever Boston, if that
it can't happen in a World Series.
no, but I'm just saying if it was, I would go to that over football. I guess really, like last year, like the Dodgers. Who did the Dodgers play in the World Cup or
World Cup.
Or in
Talking about Lone Star again?
Yeah.
no, yeah, right.
FC Lone Star.
But who did the Dodgers play?
I don't
The World
remember.
Series.
I don't
Oh,
remember.
You know, Bo?
Yankees.
Cos?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
that's
oh
right.
yeah. It's like how, like that. I was into that.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of records broken and shit like that, man. It was really good to watch.
Well, I'll say this: the one benefit that I think baseball has over football in that area is that since football does a neutral site, baseball you have a team with home field advantage, and you get to experience the home crowd in a Game 7 is unlike anything other.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that's the one thing that I'll say that would maybe drive me towards baseball, but it'd be pretty hard to pass up on a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The only thing about the Super Bowl, too, is that there's a lot of unnecessary BS antics
Yeah,
that come with it that
Oh,
take
yeah.
away from the actual sport, where baseball, you don't have enough time because you never know if you're getting to that Game
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
And it's a series.
Does it change anything if the Super Bowl's at the top seed site? So, like, if the Chiefs hosted,
Yeah.
would that be? I mean,
Yeah, it changes things. I think experiencing a fan base with their team having to win one game to win a championship is an experience unlike any other.
for sure.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I'm going baseball, but whatever. I'm never ever going to get the opportunity to do it.
You're definitely never going to go to a Game 7 of the World Series. That's right. And, like, I think you'll be at Showcase.
Right. Providing I'm still here.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, now you throw an NBA, forget it. You could give me free tickets and I'd give them away. You know,
I don't even know
you
who's
couldn't
left.
freaking.
I know the Knicks are still
I have
playing.
no idea. Who's
You
in it.
wouldn't go to an NBA
Absolute-
Finals game?
I probably would, but I would not buy tickets. I would not go out of my way to go. Dude, it's like watching paint dry or grass grow, man.
Dude, no. So I
I'd
disagree
rather
with
get
you.
kicked in the nuts.
Go to an Oklahoma City
7
Thunder
times.
game in the
Oh,
playoffs.
I'm sure.
It is ridiculous. It's all the state has. Oh well, I guess college football, but
Well, it's Oklahoma.
exactly, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I would, like that game 7 on Sunday when they beat the Nuggets. Whew, did you see that crowd? Like, man, that's unreal.
Can't say I did.
Like, if you just appreciate sports, I don't know how you could pass up any of those opportunities.
I just, man, like, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't, like, will I watch Game 7 with 2 minutes left if I have an hour and a half to burn? Yeah. Because that's what it's going to take for the last 2 minutes of a freaking Game 7. It'll take about an hour and a half.
See, like, I hate soccer, but I'd go to
I'd go see that.
like
Oh, yeah.
like a Premier League game between Manchester United and FC Lone Star any day of the week.
So, okay,
FC
put
Lo-
this.
FC
So,
Lone
what's the
Stars.
top league? What's the top league out there for soccer?
Premier League or
League,
the
so-
Spanish League
So
or the
let's go the
Italian
Premier
League.
League. Let's go the Premier League. So the championship game opportunity to go there, football, baseball, or basketball. Where are you going?
Basketball would be last in that regard. When you start comparing it,
See, I would
hockey's off the table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's off the table because we all know what we do.
I would 100% take
Or
the
World Cup final.
Oh.
I would take the soccer game because I just where I live, I will probably never get the chance
Sure.
again. Where maybe I'll trip and fall into a Super Bowl or a Game 7 World Series.
Yeah, I would take the World Cup over everything too. Then baseball, then
That's,
football,
I think
then
that's how I'd go.
Premier League games on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I got to do it.
you know Miles goes to all the World Cups. You know our PA announcer.
Does he really?
Yeah,
That's sweet.
That's cool.
yeah. He's and
Be a cheap one for him this time around.
right, but he goes all the time, man. It's crazy. He's a huge soccer fan.
I'd never been to a pro soccer game until I went to
How was it?
Locomotives last year. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've
we
never been.
we sat up in it was first responder night or something. So my wife, we got the box for the hospital, and it was awesome. It was so much fun.
Oh, cool, man.
And
Yeah, I've never been. I hear they're fun.
That's fun. That's fun.
I went to a second league game in Brazil and it was pretty unreal. Like just like the way the Brazilian culture is with soccer, it's unbelievable.
Cause you been to one? Rugby.
Legit.
Oh, look at this pulling out of left field. Really, eh? Would you take, obviously, rugby over Super Bowl? Basketball would be last.
So the Masters,
Masters. I don't know.
Would you? What about the Phoenix Open or the Waste Management Open? I'd go to that and hole whatever that is.
dude.
What hole is that?
Sunday Red. Oh, it's hole 16. I
16,
played
yeah,
it.
I was gonna say.
I played it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty fun course.
I would do that.
Hey, I back up cause on this though. If I had the opportunity to go to an All Blacks rugby game, which is the team in New Zealand, and it was especially if it was a World Cup game, I think I would take that over a soccer game. The culture in rugby is unbelievable. Sherm, you will find out shortly when you do your reading homework.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Yeah, trust me, you're gonna become a fan. Just watch.
I'm
I used to
not a
I played
fan.
rugby in high school for a semester.
Yeah, looks like it.
I did.
I believe it.
And I got kicked off the team.
I don't want to know what you did.
No, wow.
No.
Yeah, no. You know, like I was a pretty aggressive guy back then. And yeah, something happened in practice, so I wasn't allowed to play no more.
Dude, those guys are men.
Yeah, they are.
The way that they hit each other, like no pads, like it is ridiculous.
Do you see that stuff on social media where those guys line up and they freaking run at each other? And one of them's
like
got a
Red
run-
Rover? Like
Yeah,
type
but
of style?
They
Yeah.
just absolutely demolish
Hammer each
the
other.
guy. It's insane. Like you get like a dude, like huge dude, and he's trucking, and there's a guy like Cause just standing there, gonna tackle.
Oh, and he gets to just tackle.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
And the guy just runs right like. There's medics there already prepared. Do you see that?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Freaking crazy,
It's
man.
like that slap competition. You ever seen that?
Oh,
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh, dude.
So school. Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
No, not for me. I'd be knocked in the next week.
I already have applesauce for brains, so I don't need.
Right.
One more could do it.
Yeah.
But I don't think there is a tougher sport, since we're talking about rugby, than rugby. Man, like
Tough
some of
as
those,
in
like
tough.
all around, like
Or-
physical strength. You know, taking a beating, no equipment. Like those guys when they get in the scrums, like anything goes, man.
Oh yeah.
Anything goes.
There's definitely an argument to make that it's rugby. I would go for me the top, if you count MMA as one,
No, we're just talking.
has to have a ball or a puck.
There you go.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because I was gonna say boxing would be one for me that I would, because like of the endurance you have to have and everything there.
That's tough. But a ball or a puck.
Ball or puck, rugby and hockey are the two.
Football's pretty brutal.
There's just so much standing around in football.
Right. Yeah.
Like if they were playing more of those minutes, it would be probably
Right.
up there. Probably pretty close to
Basketball, man, is like soccer, man. There's more guys flopping now than like. Look, we talked about LeBron. He's retire, man.
I just
Call it
wish
a
they'd
day.
played. I wish they'd played defense. Basketball would be so much more fun if they played defense. I don't like seeing 130 to 129. Like,
Well, if they allowed hand checking and things like that
Yeah.
back, then
like
it would
the-
be.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the problem, is that it's too soft now.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy though. But anyway, yeah, rugby's a tough one. That's a good one.
Rugby's
never-
good. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
Really good point. I guess we'll keep you around for another episode. You know what I mean?
There's a documentary. There's two documentaries. One on Netflix that's just called, I think it's just called Rugby, and it follows like a couple teams in like a nations tournament, and it'll show like it's good to get like behind the scenes and see what's going on there. And then there's one on Amazon that follows the All Blacks through training camp and then kind of into their season, and it's super interesting. Like, it's worth watching. What was that?
That's crazy.
Did Jay just fall?
No, Jay's going to an appointment today.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
You know, he just came in to get some
Dude,
stuff.
he's had a week.
He had the week off last week.
Yeah, but he was moving.
yeah.
I'd rather work.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
So what? He wasn't here, so whatever. He
Dude, I'd
probably
rather
didn't even-
I'd rather sharpen the public skates
Yeah,
than
right.
move.
Yeah, I hate moving. But Jay's got an appointment to go to today, so he's not. He's leaving. I think probably already left. So
Real quick, we were talking about Olympics real quick. The NFL yesterday approved the flag football for the Olympics. Did you see that?
No.
The players from the NFL can play flag football at the Olympics.
Currently in season guys could do that.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah,
GM is going to allow
They
that.
voted for it yesterday, and I think it was 32-0 unanimous
Wow.
vote that they get to play in the Olympics.
So much of their contracts are not
Oh, I-
guaranteed that I would never take that risk.
I don't know.
yeah, I would. Yeah, for flag football.
Yeah, he torn
That's
Achilles or
that's
something
that's
playing
another one then.
flag football. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool,
You
but
couldn't give me tickets to go watch flag football, man.
I agree with that.
But anyway, guys, appreciate you guys hopping on again for another episode 61. Lots to talk about. Lots to listen. So everybody out there listening, make sure you tune in, man. There's some
It's
good
a long
topics
one.
today. A long one. We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Been a lot of fun, guys. So until next week, we're just going to continue rolling, doing what we're doing, recruiting, all that good shit. And, happy trails, fellas. I got to go. I got an appointment to go to, too.
Everybody's got appointments today.
I don't.
I do. This one's a sponsorship one. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway,
All right.
thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care. Comb your hair. Keep stick on the ice.